Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another review. This time, we're going to be continuing my review series for Godfather of Harlem, but on this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and instead of talking about an individual episode, I'm going to go ahead and review all 3 seasons from worst to best. This is something I've been wanting to do, and I've been leading up to it. I just finished rewatching the first season. I am now completely caught up. Season 4 is officially confirmed, and I will be doing a video for my predictions for Season 4 very, very soon. Now, this video, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it could be long. So, sit down, relax, have a cigarette, drink some coffee, do whatever you got to do, and just chill and watch the video. So, today, like I said, we're going to be ranking the seasons. And I'm not going to go in depth about every little detail about each season, because we would be here for hours. I could literally make this video an hour just talking about some of the crazy shit that has happened in this show. Okay, so my number 3 is going to be, and I was debating on this, what it was going to be, but it has to be Season 3. Season 3 of Godfather of Harlem is by far the weakest season of this show. And there are a couple different reasons why. The main reason is that Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Chin, does not show up until the last 2 episodes of this season. And in my review for Season 3, I talked about that a little bit because it really pissed me off that he wasn't in this season very much. The last 2 episodes of Season 3 are fucking fantastic. When he has his return, when he gets out of prison, in Episode 9, holy shit, it's fucking awesome. I mean, it's cool to see him again. He comes in gun swinging. Another problem with this season is I was not a fan of Joe Colombo. Not a fan. I didn't like his character. I thought he was an arrogant prick. Even though I guess Chin is kind of a prick too. I guess they all are, to be honest. But he's different. He tries to do a deal with Bumpy, and Bumpy is just like, no, fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you people anymore. And then some shit happens where Joe Colombo was almost killed, and he's saved by Stella. But the reason why he's almost killed is because of Stella. He brings Stella in because that's what Chin wanted. He's working for Chin. He is taking over while he's away. And the whole fucking thing was her fault. She went to Chin's lawyer and told him that and lied and said that Joe Colombo had been saying dirty things to him and trying to get in her pants. But of course he wasn't. Later on they end up hooking up a couple times, but she didn't really like him. And by the end of the season, he goes to fucking jail. So hopefully we don't see that motherfucker again, because he was such an asshole, and I just was not feeling him as a replacement for Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't know if maybe Vincent D'Onofrio was busy with something else, or they couldn't get him for the rest of the season. I don't know what it was, but that whole thing was just pissing me off. Again, I gotta specify, the last 2 episodes of Season 3 are absolutely amazing because of the return of Chin. Another thing about this season that I wasn't big on, I like the way he died, though, was the whole storyline with Wild Bill and Bumpy trying to get cocaine instead of heroin from the government. So he's got to naturally work for the government to get this shit. He was killed in Episode 9, I think, or Episode 10. I can't remember which one it was. But they fucking, Bumpy and Chin threw him off the fucking roof, that I just wasn't expecting that. When I saw that, I was like, yes, I hated this motherfucker. I couldn't wait for him to die. So yeah, Wild Bill, that whole thing with Wild Bill was interesting. I liked it. I liked it a lot. They end up doing a deal with Morgenthau to rat him out if they have his protection. But that all goes sideways when they throw him off the fucking roof. Well, it kind of goes sideways. They kind of give Bumpy and Chen what they want. And then at the end, the very end of this season, two things happen. One, this season, Malcolm X was recast. I don't know what happened to the other actor that plays Nigel, but for some reason he could not. The other actor, I think his name is Nigel something. He could not return to play Malcolm X, so they had to recast him. And the guy they recast him as worked really well. He had a deeper voice. I think he played the character better. I really do. When he got up on stage and he does speeches, it just sounds better. Now, with this season, we're going on the second season where Malcolm X is not with the nation anymore. Last season, he was assassinated, or almost assassinated, but I will get onto that. This season, we actually go into the final moments of his life. We go to the exact day he was assassinated. And it was very sad to see. The end of this season, it ends with Bumpy looking at him at the morgue. And it's very, very, very sad. So I liked that part about this season. There is some stuff I liked about this season. I didn't hate it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of a 10. So yeah, that's going to be season 3. I believe that, there's a couple other things I forgot to mention about this season. Number one, the reason, Stella's stepmom, I forgot her name, the one that Chen is married to. I think that's his second wife, because it's not Stella's mom, it's Stella's stepmom. She tried to have her killed. And later on, Chen finds out about this and breaks off ties with her, almost strangles her to death. I don't blame her. I hate this fucking bitch. I hope that she dies or never comes back in the fucking show because she's so annoying. Anyway, so yeah, season 3 is going to get a 7 out of 10. Now, season 2 is going to be my number 2 pick. And I like this season, but I don't think it's as good as the first season. This whole season starts off with Bumpy being on the run. Chen and his people are trying to kill him. He has a contract on his life. So he's on the run for weeks, maybe months, I can't remember. But he comes up with this brilliant plan because the way they're getting the heroin is through these French people. So he severs the French connection just so that way he can live and he can get all of the heroin, get the sanctions taken off of him. And it works. He does get the heroin. However, later on in this season, there are riots that break out in the final episode of season 2. And when these riots break out, all of the heroin burns down. So the whole thing kind of felt pointless. He had everything, and then he lost it. And that's why in season 3, he's switching over to coke, trying to get that from Wild Bill and the government. But it just never really seems to work out with them, with the heroin business, or just really any of it. He always loses. And, I thought that was really cool. I liked Monsignor 98. I don't give a fuck about the other guy. And I was kind of sad and I forgot to bring this up, in season 3, Joe Colombo cuts off Monsignor 98's head. Cuts off his fucking head and brings it to Bumpy. That was pretty fucked up. A couple other things that happen is Malcolm X is almost killed by this guy named Brother Charles. And this other guy, who I forgot his name, Omar and Brother Charles tried to kill Malcolm X and almost succeed. Bumpy got there ahead of time and killed Brother Charles. And Omar ran away. Later on in season 3, another thing I forgot to mention is that he's trying to seek forgiveness and he ends up helping Malcolm again later on. But in season 2, he was not helping Malcolm whatsoever. He fucking kicked Elise out of the nation and... Oh, shit, I forgot to mention something else that happened in season 3. I'm all over the place here, guys. I'm sorry. With Elise, I forgot Wild Bill injected her with heroin because he was trying to show Bumpy that... trying to show Bumpy who's boss, I guess. That was fucked up. But anyway, in season 2, she gets kicked out of the nation, and all that shit happens, and Omar takes away his proposal to her. It was all fucked up. All of it was fucked up. I'm trying to think of other shit that happened in season 2. Off the top of my head. I think that really might be everything noteworthy. Oh, well, another thing I liked about season 2 was that Chin and Bumpy actually were working together and not killing each other later on in the season. And they make a good team. By the end of season 3, Bumpy says that he's not going to be doing heroin anymore and he's going to switch to something else. So they're probably not going to be business partners in the future, but I guess we'll find out what happens. I hope Vincent D'Onofrio plays a bigger role in season 4. But anyway. So yeah, that's really everything noteworthy about season 2. I'm trying to think. Oh! At one point in season 2, Joe Bonanno has a plan to keep all the heroin for himself and kill all of the heads of the 5 families. This motherfucker's crazy. Played brilliantly by Chaz Palminterian. So, Joe Colombo almost succeeds in killing all the heads of the 5 families. If it wasn't for Bumpy, in that episode, everybody would have been dead. So Bumpy makes a deal with Chin, and Joe Bonanno is supposed to leave town and never come back to New York. And he does that. After, I think that episode was called the Bonanno Split. After that, we don't see Joe Bonanno at all in season 3 or the rest of season 2. Which kind of made me a little disappointed because I like the character quite a bit. Alright, so season 2, really liked it. It's going to get a 8 out of 10 on my scale today. But number one is going to be season 1. And the reason why is because this is the one that started it all. Bumpy gets out of Alcatraz on the first episode, and he raises hell. He tells Chin he wants a piece of the action. He tells Chin that he owns Harlem. And this whole war breaks out all season, really, between Chin and Bumpy. But Bumpy actually does something really, really, really smart. He gets the heat off of his own back from Chin and puts Joe Bonanno and Chin against each other. So they're almost killing each other. The reason why is because Bumpy finds out that Chin killed Bonanno's son because he was fucking around with his daughter. So, if you look back now, Chin is responsible for 3 people's deaths of his daughter. He's so protective of his daughter that every time somebody tries to fall in love with her, every time that something like that happens, the first time was with Lorenzo, the second time was with Benny, and the third time was with Ernie. Ernie tried to save his life, but he fucked it all up. And I forgot that happened in season 2. Ernie was killed, and I was really sad about it. But, oh my God, it's just so fucked up that Stella, I feel so bad for her because she never gets the life she deserves. She never gets to be happy with anyone. They all die. And I just feel horrible for her. So, after that, in season 1, this whole war breaks out. Elise is raped, and then she gets sober and joins the Nation of Islam and helps Malcolm X. The Dear Holy Apostle, he wants Elise to spy on Malcolm for him. He wants to know what he's doing at all times. And the stuff that's going on with Anthony during all this show, really, there really isn't a lot going on with them. There's a little bit going on. He actually tries to have Bumpy and all the 5 families. He tries to get them in trouble by announcing the heads of the 5 families on national TV. And he succeeds in this, except he doesn't name Bumpy. Because Mamie, his wife, paid him off. Bumpy's also sleeping around this season with this other chick that he knew in Alcatraz. Sorry. Somebody he got conjugal visits from, I'm assuming. They don't really go into depth about who she is. But I'll tell you one thing. I would have loved to see a flashback episode to some of the shit that happened in Alcatraz. Because I'm sure some fucked up shit happened in Alcatraz while he was in there. So, one thing I will say is, when Season 4 comes out, I would love to see a flashback episode. I wouldn't mind seeing flashback episodes with Malcolm X as well. Maybe we could see, like, how Bumpy and Malcolm X met. And because Bumpy actually saved his life back in the day. And this season ends with... Well, actually, this happened twice. Bumpy was almost killed twice in season 1. But the season ends with Martin Luther King... with JFK's assassination, which was really Anthony was really affected by his death because they actually knew each other. And in real life, they really did know each other. And they were friends, and they did meetings together and stuff. Later on, he does do work with Lyndon B. Johnson, who, of course, took over for JFK after he was killed. Season 1 is going to get a 10 out of 10. It's the best season of Godfather of Harlem, period. And I love every second of it. This whole show is great. Stay tuned for my predictions video for Season 4, because I need to get that up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.